Right now at 6, there's a plan to cut down on Beltline backups during rush hour, what the Department of Transportation is considering.
A state lawmaker hopes to prevent future gas explosions like the one in Sun Prairie from happening. We're looking into the changes he wants to make to state law concerning construction.
And an area food pantry is working to make sure Madison students are fed over the winter break.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thank you for joining us tonight. The Department of Transportation believes they may finally have a solution to Beltline congestion.
The concept is a foreign one to our area, but popular in other states. Our Keely Arthur is live on the Beltline to explain what it is. Keely?
Well, if you've lived in the area, you've most likely experienced the headache that is Beltline traffic during rush hour. Well, the DOT says they have the remedy to the ailment, adding an extra lane by opening up the shoulder.
Whatever makes it easier to get around, I'm all for it.
When you deliver food to pay the bills,
Pick up the food and go around, drive around Madison.
minutes matter.
Yes, time management is of the essence, definitely.
And that's why Elvin Smith, the Madison Westsider, is all for a potential Wisconsin Department of Transportation plan to open the shoulder, making it another lane during rush hour on the Beltline.
But then if you're trying to avoid all that traffic, you'd be like, I'll just take the shoulder, you know.
It's kind of like space there wherever you're not using it. Yeah, that would make perfect sense to me.
I think it'll be a better solution. It'll help with a lot of the traffic flow. I think it'll actually cut down with all the heavy traffic during the rush hours.
According to the DOT, it would cut down on Beltline traffic by 40%. Officials say the concept is currently used in 17 states and is recognized as an environmentally responsible and cost-effective traffic management practice to alleviate congestion and improve safety.
I mean, there's crazier scenarios where you got other states, other countries that are, have overpasses over tons of houses and all kinds of stuff. So I feel like anything you can do to help alleviate traffic and congestion is good for everybody, right?
The DOT provided us with these images showing us how it would work. When open, drivers would see a green arrow above the shoulder and a red X would indicate the shoulder is off limits. If all goes to plan, you could see those X's and arrows as early as 2021.
I think if there's room, use it.
I think it's a good idea.
Now, this idea was born out of a DOT study of the Beltline. If all goes to plan, you heard that it will be open in 2021. The DOT is going to start talking to state, local, and federal stakeholders to see if this is feasible.
Keely Arthur reporting live on a busy Beltline tonight. Keely, thank you.
Governor-elect Tony Evers continues to fill positions in his cabinet. Today, he announced 4 more members. He is choosing Craig Thompson to serve the Department of Transportation. He is the executive director of the Wisconsin Transportation Development Agency. Rebecca Cameron Valke will serve as chairwoman to the Public Service Commission. Evers also named Mark Afable as insurance commissioner and Brad Paff as the head of the Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. A state lawmaker says the deadly explosion in Sun Prairie could have been prevented. Sun Prairie police say a natural gas line was not completely marked and a contractor struck that line leading to the explosion. Representative Gary Heabley plans to introduce a bill next year that would make changes to state law when it comes to construction. He does not have specifics yet, but wants to put a better system in place to make sure lines are marked properly. No criminal charges were filed in the explosion, but Abby Barr, the widow of the firefighter who died, and 2 firefighters who were injured have filed lawsuits against companies they say were involved.
We have an update tonight on a story News 3 told you about last month. State auditors now say there is a significant deficiency in internal controls at the Department of Employee Trust Funds after work halted on a major technical overhaul. News 3 first reported that work had halted on a new online benefits system for state employees earlier this year, and ETF was not saying what the next steps would be. The state's financial report out today says there are risks posed by continuing to use the old system. Auditors also found IT risks with the state's major payroll and purchasing system, STAR, and suggested immediate improvements.
It is a busy weekend full of holiday travel. Here is meteorologist Dana Fulton with our first alert forecast. Hi, Dana.
Hey, everyone. Yes, a lot of travel for us this weekend. The good news, the last few days we have been above average and that trend's going to continue through the weekend. That's bad news, though, for the lakes. Lake Mendota open again officially from the Wisconsin State Climatology Office. This is the 7th time in our state's history that the lake has frozen and then open and then refrozen again. Now, the question mark, of course, is when is Lake Mendota actually going to freeze over again? We're going to have to wait to find out because, as I mentioned, through the weekend, we are expecting temperatures to stay above average, and we need a little bit of a cold spell to have the lake completely freeze back over. Right now, looking at our Doppler track, things are nice and calm. No real threat for any sort of flurries for us tonight. We're close to 28 in Madison and in Lone Rock. Same goes for Monroe and in Mineral Point. About 32 still in Janesville, where the wind speed is at 12 miles per hour. The rest of the area closer to about 8 in the single digits for us from the north-northwest. So it's still that cooler air shifting through. And that means our wind chill, of course, certainly factored in for this evening. If you do have any Friday evening plans, it feels close to 20 right now. Roads, though, right now, nice and clear. Tomorrow should be a good travel day. Same goes for Sunday. Temperatures will be in the mid-30s for afternoon highs. Almost a repeat performance of today, except we may even see just a little more sunshine for this weekend. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the weekend and, of course, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. A man who intentionally caused a house explosion to cover up a murder will have to pay restitution. Stephen Pyrus pleaded guilty in April to killing his wife and causing the explosion. He said he loosened a gas line to a dryer to cause it. It destroyed their home on Madison's west side. Today in court, a judge ordered Pyrus pay restitution to the victims and his wife's family. Restitution was set at over $36,000. Pyrus was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. He presently makes around $5 an hour in prison. An 11-year-old boy is accused of stabbing a classmate in the back with scissors. Madison police were called to Senate Middle School yesterday. The injured child suffered a minor puncture wound. The alleged attacker was taken to the Juvenile Reception Center. City officials in Janesville are looking for the person responsible for dumping more than a dozen windows on the city's west side. Police reported nearly 15 windows being dumped in a residential area over the weekend, and city operations officials were forced to clean up the debris. Operations Superintendent Cameron Nash says illegal dumping like this is both wasteful and dangerous.
It's a drain on city resources when we're dispatched to have to go clean it up, and it's also dangerous. These windows, there was a lot of broken glass that was in the street and could cause property damage or it could injure someone.
Nash says it's not often dumping takes place in residential areas like this and encourages anyone with information to contact the Janesville Police non-emergency line.
The Taco Bell Cantina on State Street will receive its liquor license after all. A Dane County judge ruled in favor of the restaurant in a lawsuit. The Flynn Restaurant Group owns Taco Bell and wanted Taco Bell Cantina to have a full-service liquor license. However, Madison Mayor Paul Soglin vetoed the license late last year. Soglin has proposed a liquor license moratorium for all new restaurants in the State Street area as a way to lower drinking-related crimes. The Flynn Restaurant Group released this statement today saying it looks forward to offering beer and wine at the State Street location. Taco Bell Cantina opened on State Street a year ago. Caribou Coffee is reporting a data breach at more than 260 of its stores. The data breach occurred between August 28th and December 3rd. Caribou says it's possible customer names and credit card information may have been taken. Some of the affected stores are in Wisconsin. Caribou is asking people to monitor credit card statements and credit reports.
A special food truck is making sure students are fed over winter break. It is part of the River Food Pantry's Munch program. The truck will head to 8 neighborhoods on Madison's north side. Around 400 meals are prepared every day. There is no school, including weekends and weekdays next week, except for Christmas.
If your stomach is empty, that's what you're thinking about, right? You're thinking about when can I get a meal? When can I get this? So you're not thinking about, okay, I have to focus on math, or I'm going to sit and read.
The Munch truck is out in planned spots in 15-minute time slots. You can find exact location information on our website, channel3000.com.
A Wisconsin man who came in second on this season of The Voice is returning to his hometown for a concert. Chris Cruzy is expected to perform at the Barron Area Community Center in February. Tickets go on sale December 22nd. Coming up next at 6, a group of performers say they're done with a Madison club after they were not allowed to use the facility's changing rooms.
You'll hear from them about their concerns and frustrations, plus a response from the club's owner. That is next on News 3 at 6. An incident at a Madison's Plan B club is making some people upset.
Several people are also opting out of performing there. Our Jamie Perez is here now with the details. Jamie.
I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and a lot of people that I spoke with say that what happened this weekend was just one part of why they are upset with Plan B, and it was kind of just the last straw for them. Drag queen performers at the club explained on social media how management would not let them use the bathroom or changing room that they've always used to prepare for their show, and that they were told to change in their cars or come already prepared. Some performers say they didn't know they weren't allowed to use the changing rooms or felt confused as to why they couldn't use them, and then they felt discriminated against. Plan B claimed in an online response that it was a miscommunication and that the rooms were not up to fire code, so they couldn't have anyone in there. Performers say this isn't the only issue that prompted them to say they were done.
Once I started hearing allegations of people being served underage, the mistreatment of people of color within the bar, people harassing, or the owners harassing their own patrons and employees, I knew that as a queen in my own morals, I didn't want to represent a bar that was no longer a safe place for not only performers, but for the queer community in Madison.
And I did reach out to the owners of Plan B for comment on this. None of them responded, but this following quote was taken from their Facebook page regarding what happened over the weekend. They said, "The closure of our changing room was necessary to keep our space open and safe for all. The use of the upstairs would result in serious fines against Plan B, which Plan B is not able to sustain. Our understanding was that all drag queens had been informed. We are deeply sorry that our performers, as well as the larger drag communities and allies, were offended by this serious miscommunication." location. The future of the club at this point still remains uncertain, but the performers that I spoke with say they will not support the club if they feel it does not support their community. Coming up tonight at 10, I'll have more reaction from the show director, who also stepped down following the events that happened this weekend, plus some other allegations that have been brought up aside from what happened this weekend.
All right, we'll see you at 10. Thanks, Jamie.
Some Madison residents got a little creative. Highlights from the winter solstice bonfire next at 6.
Plus, things are looking good around here if you need to travel for the holidays. But after Christmas, it could be a different story. The first alert forecast is coming up right after the break.
Some Madison residents welcomed winter with a special bonfire. Hundreds of people stopped by Olbrich Park to hang out by the winter solstice bonfire. People were encouraged to throw their regrets and dreams into the fire. Special fire dancers also participated at the event. Oh, I love it. I wish I was there. We should start our own bonfire.
That's a great
in there.
idea. Dana has the weekend forecast. Hi, Dana.
Hey, yes, the fire, probably a good idea because it's going to be just a little colder for us tonight, guys. We're actually looking at our mostly cloudy sky staying through the next few hours, and then it is going to become partly cloudy as we head into tomorrow morning. We do have a bit of a flurry chance for tomorrow, not too much, and then as we get into Sunday, we may actually see a little more sunshine, becoming partly sunny for us by Sunday afternoon. And then we are expecting some flurries right around the Christmas holiday, Christmas Eve into Christmas morning. That flurry chance comes on through. Not too much, not enough that we're expecting a blanket of snow for Christmas, but we may see just a few tenths of an inch, which will be better than nothing. Looking at our Doppler track right now, fairly mellow throughout central and southern Wisconsin. It's a little cool outside with the wind chill, of course, factored in, but we're not seeing any flurries right now or any moisture like last night where we had that mix coming through for us in Madison. Our next front is off to the west. It's not going to bring much moisture along with it, just that chance for flurries as we head into tomorrow. It'll keep our temperatures pretty steady too for the next several days. So overnight, our cloud coverage breaks up just a little bit, becoming partly cloudy for us or partly sunny by Saturday. Our overnight lows fall into the low 20s for Saturday morning, so it will be just a little colder to start off the day. And then throughout the afternoon, plan on temperature-wise being very similar to today in the mid-30s for afternoon highs. A little bit of a chance for some flurries as we head into tomorrow afternoon. That chance not expected to linger into Sunday, though. Sunday, we're looking at a variably cloudy sky. A little bit of sun, which is nice. So travel plans this weekend, you're okay. Christmas Eve travel should be just fine. Overall, mostly cloudy sky. And then at night, we have that flurry chance coming in for us. Again, maybe a trace amount, if a few tenths of an inch for southern Wisconsin as that flurry chance slides through into Christmas morning. By 9 o'clock, still cloudy sky. By then, though, of course, the majority of the Christmas presents are open. Throughout the afternoon, we may get a little bit of sunshine later on, and then we are looking at a bigger system to come through for us by Wednesday and Thursday. Now, usually in Madison, especially on north, we do expect to have a white Christmas. And as we look back through the last several years, you can even see we have a pretty great chance of having a white Christmas. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be repeating 2015, 2014 as that trace amount, again, leaning closer to nothing for most of the area, but hey, some people may see just a little bit. Temperature-wise through Christmas, we'll start the day off in the mid-20s, and then in the afternoon, some pockets of sunshine. Temperatures will stay in the low 30s throughout the day. Downtown right now is not bad. If you have any Friday evening plans, do know that it's cloudy, but that's about it. So it's not going to affect your evening. Temperatures today were in the mid-30s. Should be very similar for tomorrow. Overnight lows will fall close to 23. Again, becoming partly cloudy. That is just a little colder than where we started the day today. Tomorrow, 35, variably cloudy with that flurry chance popping up for us later on in the day. As we look at our 10-day forecast for the next several days, our temps are actually going to stay just above average. Through the weekend, we have a little bit of sun chances. Same goes for a little bit on Christmas Eve. Overall, mostly cloudy, though. That flurry chance comes in at night into early Tuesday morning. Wednesday, our moisture is expected to come through later in the day or at night. It'll be a little bit of a mix heading into Thursday morning, and then the cooler air will arrive just in time for next weekend. And of course for New Year's Eve. So it is going to be quite a cool down for us as we head into the start of 2019.
Well, this season is pretty much shot, but Aaron Rodgers says there's hope for the near future for the Packers. The story's coming up in sports. Randall Cobb probably won't play for the Packers Sunday against the Jets. He's listed as doubtful with the concussion symptoms. But Aaron Rodgers, he's a go. He has another full practice today. The 2018 season pretty much done, but there's always 2019 and beyond. Rodgers is under contract for the next 5 seasons at $33.5 million per. Even with that big number, the Packers in pretty good shape with the salary cap, and they'll have 2 first-round draft picks next season. That has Rodgers pretty hopeful for the future.
You know, we have a good setup, I think. We're going to have a big chunk under the cap and 2 first-round picks starting off, and there's a lot that you can do with that. And I think it'll be exciting to see what Brian and his staff do to enhance the roster. I think we have a lot of the pieces in place to be successful. Obviously, injuries have hurt us. We have some tough decisions to make across every position group. But I'm excited about the guys we have and the potential of guys we could get.
The Badger women's basketball team has a home game against Evansville tonight at 7 at the Kohl Center. Tomorrow morning, the Badger men's team plays Grambling State at 11. Ethan Happ has certainly become the face of this Badger team. He'll be at or near the top of a lot of statistical categories, but he's also moved into the role of team leader the last couple of years. That's a role he's grown used to, but fortunately he was able to learn from those who came before him.
I had it real easy here coming in where I had, that really good group with Frank and Sam and Josh. Really good leadership, and then that passed down to Nigel and Bronson. So I was kind of in the back seat for a while, but it did some adjusting last year, and then coming in this year, I feel a lot more comfortable in that role. And just like all leaders want to, be tough and be there for their team, but, real leadership qualities are like honesty and being able to talk to guys when you need to and not make them, fluff them up, but tell them the real honest truth.
The Badger football team leaves for the Pinstripe Bowl Sunday. They'll play Miami at Yankee Stadium at 4:15 p.m. Central Time next Thursday. Now, this season didn't play out the way a lot of people thought it would. All that preseason talk of a run at a national championship might have been a little much, but no one saw 7-5 coming. Still, the Badgers have a chance to win a 5th straight bowl game and put a little better spin on the 2018 season.
There's adversity that comes with every season. I don't know, it just so happens that this year we're going through more and stuff, but we just couldn't battle through it at times like we did last year. So the last time we played, we were a little frustrated with ourselves, losing the axe and everything. So yeah, I think with this whole bowl prep, we've had a lot of time to improve and ultimately get better for this bowl game. So yeah, I think everybody's really encouraged and excited to get going in New York.
It was 80 degrees in the Bahamas for the Bahamas Bowl in Nassau this afternoon. The Florida International Golden Panthers against the Toledo Rockets. Running back Anthony Jones, big day, 92 yards, 3 touchdowns. Florida International wins the Bahamas Bowl 35-32 to finish the season 9-4. By the way, the early weather forecast for the Pinstripe Bowl next Thursday?
All right, I'll start working on it, I promise. Okay.
They say 40 and rain.
Oh,
sweet.
All right, you'll be fine. We're looking at rain, too, by next Thursday. Of course, we got to get through this travel weekend. Overall, we will see a little bit of sunshine by Sunday. Some flurry chances, though, on Saturday. Notice temperature-wise, same as today, mid-30s. A little cooler as we head into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. A flurry chance overnight into Christmas morning. And then that rain comes in for Wednesday and Thursday, Jay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. We'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.